Hi, my name is Jam. Welcome to Pathways of Hope. Today's gospel reading comes from Mark chapter 10, verses 32 to 45. And there's actually quite a lot happening in this verse or in this passage. And one of the things that really caught my attention was this verse that said, "And they were amazed, and those who followed him were afraid." It was interesting to me, the contrast of those two words, amazed and afraid. One of my favorite Catholic teachers, Bishop Robert Barron, has a series on Catholicism, and one of the episodes is called Amazed and Afraid. And he talks about Jesus here as somebody who should kind of demand that kind of response from a person. To be amazed and afraid at the same time. He's not just a great moral teacher. He is, in his words, a deeply disconcerting figure, being both God and man. And this demands a response. And this is very telling by the way that he would speak to his disciples or the things that he would say to them. In this passage in particular, this gospel reading for the day, he foretells his death. He talks about how he is going to be persecuted, spat on, how he would eventually die and rise again 3 days later. That is a disconcerting figure, right? But not just that. The truth is, for us Christians, Jesus invites us to the same experience, the same death and the same resurrection. Maybe not in the same way exactly that Jesus experienced them, but we are called to the same pattern of life, or should I say, death that leads to life. What do I mean by this? And in what way is Jesus inviting us to die and then rise again? It comes in the latter part of the passage where Jesus says, "Whoever will be first among you must be slave of all." Jesus is inviting us to this kind of death. Death to self, denying oneself, and instead being in the service of others. He even used the word slave. Can you imagine? That's the kind of life that Jesus is inviting us to. It means slaving away for other people. Our lives not being our own anymore, but lived in the service of others. This is the invitation for us. And so how disconcerting exactly is this Jesus Christ? Well, he died and rose again after foretelling it. And not just that, he invites his followers to the same kind of life by dying first to self and living for the service of others. I invite you, my dear friends, to ponder this today. Think about your particular context right now. How might the Lord be asking you to die to yourself here and now and live in the service of others? How might he be inviting you to death and eventual resurrection? Because if there's one thing I have learned, it's that death leads only to a better life, to greater freedom, greater joy, and peace. And ultimately, this is what Jesus wants for us, that we might be with him in glory after dying with him. May God bless you.